Alright then. So, the dub got another point. Yay. Okay, I do have to explain that. I do. The dub got another point mostly because I will admit, I think it's mostly just because I like the reasonings more. I don't know, the threat of no friendship speeches if Tail loses just seems a little to me. And I'm sorry, but at least with the dub, you could have the excuse of 4 kids just fucking up. But I'm just getting so sick of the fucking rule breaking that it's just like, okay, look, I don't fucking care anymore. Or this is just getting irritating. Also, the idea isn't that, oh god, Attempt took over my body. It was Yugi was upset that he interfered with Attempt. I'm sorry, what? You know? Oh, and my not giving two flying shits about the duel actually really kind of hampers it, in my opinion. Again, it's an episode that just feels like. This episode feels like something that just didn't need to happen and only happened because of. Because, well, the previous episode kind of forced it. Except, here's the most hilarious part. Or if I could just pull out my mangas again. I need. Sorry, give me a sec, guys. I mean, I don't really have much to talk about with this episode, so forgive me for padding out my. Oh, it's over here. Forgive me for padding out my video here, but it really is just kind of there, isn't it? And my phone went off again. God damn it. But anyways, okay. So we gotta get past that. Gotta get and past that because I have to show you this because the manga literally this is hilarious because I have to show you how this played out in the manga. God, it's really far in. God damn it. It really was that other one. God damn it. Okay. Shows how far it is. So I gotta show you guys this. This, I guess it is multiple pages. You want to know how far how much of this episode? And how much of this episode is the manga? This little thingy here? That's how much. Now, if you're not quite getting the point, that is, let's see, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages of the manga. And yes, I said pages, not chapters. It's basically a chunk of the first chapter. It's like 9 pages out of... Okay, what's the... 9 out of 20, so like half a chapter. It's literally half a chapter. Now, on the one hand, you can be like, well, I mean, they didn't want to run out of manga material. Except, again, really, and especially considering how much padding they've been putting into episodes, why not have the padding just be either crisis of conscience, right? Instead of this non, and also let's not have this nonsense of Yugi's problem being I interfered with the other me. Have Yugi's issue be that the other me was like in the dub, ironically enough, have the fact that Editem was willing to kill Kaiba be the problem, because it was the problem. But I've ranted enough about Face Off. Let's get off of that. Let's just move on. This is probably going to be a really short one. And I haven't even turned my TV off, and I'm 6 minutes in. But I basically have nothing to really talk about. So Taya is going to Duel. Okay, I do like that Maya's repaying her debt while being smart. It's like, because both versions even literally have like, but if Maya, if you give up your starships, you can't enter. She has like 16 total. Yeah. Let's not nitpick the whole. It was for 8. Let's not. Let's not. 6 is more than enough. So then, Maya and Taya start dueling. Taya uses fairy monsters, which don't have a lot of good. Did not have a lot of good support back in the day. I mean, there was a couple of decent attack points amongst them. Shining Friendship and Fairy's Gift being great examples of that. But considering the equip Happy Harpies, yeah. I do like the fact that Taya is annoying and yet she's brave. That much I'll give her. Credit where it's due. Which is funny because Mai doesn't have too much stock in this duel, but to Anzu, it's practically everything. Thank God the dub is the only one that puts the everything's riding on this match into the dialogue again, because that was what was pissing me right the fuck off last time, as I think I've made perfectly clear with how much I ranted. Oh God, hard to believe that I only spent like a half an hour bitching about about those episodes. Ugh. Also, there's more rule breaking, attacking on your opponent's turn, activating spell cards on your opponent's turn. Again, there's no excuse giving here, so no, I'm gonna keep bitching about it until they stop doing that. They will stop doing it, just not yet. I've already mentioned giving up expensive speeches thing. Mentioned the fairy cards. So then Maya kind of has a point. Because the point is that Yugi does have to pull himself out of it. Because Yugi's only going to be able to move forward by being the one to move forward. And the fact that and he does need to confront this. The problem is he's just shutting himself off and not confronting the problem. And arguably he doesn't even do it. Confront the problem here. He's just got to pick himself up out of the dirt. And I like how in the manga he actually picks himself up out of the dirt by my saying, you got to pick yourself up out of the dirt and keep moving forward, right? You can't let one loss be the end. And I agree with that. Mai also has a point in both versions where, yeah, but that's Mai's point in both versions. Yugi has to deal with this now. This is a Yugi problem. And the first step to getting over a problem is admitting that there is one and resolving to do something about it. Which is always the problem. The unspoken side issue with that, with that statement. The first step to fixing a problem is acknowledging that there is one. Well, the full statement should basically say the first step to fixing a problem is to admit that there is a problem in need of fixing. But I suppose that goes without saying, doesn't it? So then after Mai uses Shining Friendship with the Equips to blast Harpy Lady, Mai surrenders. I like this for two reasons. Because this is Mai showing that she has changed. That she's not the petty, arrogant, you-know-what that she was before. Which is a nice touch. Too bad the series is going to do exactly two things with this, and aka Jack and shit going forward. Especially after a certain sadistic fuck gets involved. But again, let's not get into that. This is supposed to be a Mai at her best, so let's not talk about that any further. At least not right now. Also, I do like that Mai lies about Harpy's feather duster. It was nothing she couldn't have handled. We're good. Moving on. Just something about that makes me smile. Because it shows that Mai understood that there was no real stake in the duel. We'll have to discuss that a bit further when it comes to specific other duels where some people say, a certain someone should have surrendered during it, and I just look at that going, no. Oh, and then in the Japanese version, Mai mentions the time limit, and I'm like, oh yeah, the time limit that nobody gave a fuck about out for several episodes. I think the last time the time limit was mentioned was... Let's see, it was episode 17. Like 8 episodes ago. 7-8 episodes ago. But I digress. I guess I should try to explain why I prefer this episode, and I guess I should close out by talking about why I prefer this episode than the dub. I don't really have a central reason. I'm willing to say that it's probably just nostalgia talking, but I'm just gonna say this bluntly. Taya's bravery shines through more in the dub, in my opinion, than in the sub. It is still different, and it is still kind of watered down, but in my opinion, Mai comes across a bit too much. It kind of comes across more as a little too much like a bitch in the sub, and I think that's my big problem with it, and what ultimately made me lean towards the dub. Oh, that and the whole attempt. I interfered with a Tem thing. I think were the two things that pushed it over the edge. Regardless, this episode was actually, well, a lot less painful to sit through than I thought it would be. Especially the dub. I actually remembered not liking this episode like at all. I looked at this episode and went, "Bleh." But I think it's because I could actually get through it without any commercial breaks. In other words, I didn't have to waste an extra, 8 minutes or whatever on commercial breaks. And in my opinion, this episode would not be worth it with that. But I'm watching them on Crunchyroll, which has no actual commercial breaks because I have Crunchyroll Premium. So, yeah. Although I don't even think I can watch this series outside of Crunchyroll Premium, but I'm not here to argue semantics about premium streaming services. Yeah, I've got nothing, guys. That's it. Short one, and I didn't even turn off my TV for this. So I've probably been veering off the entire time. I'm just gonna say it, guys. This episode was better than I thought, but still not an episode that I would rewatch. You could kind of consider this the epilogue of Face Off, which is hilarious to me because the epilogue of Face Off is far less painful than Face Off itself. Make of that what you will. Still, I do like this episode as a softening of Mai's character. Too bad that they're literally going to go into reverse and literally freaking put the car into reverse and slam on the accelerator in terms of her character. When it comes to season 4. Anyways, I'm gonna cut this off. Next time we get into, this is gonna sound weird, but my third favorite duel of season 1 by memory. We'll see how it holds up, guys, because now we're getting into the point in which multiparters are going to start basically taking over for the most part. Well, with one exception when it comes to the Duelist Kingdom Finals, and then one after the Duelist Kingdom Finals, and then like the rest of the season is going to be all multi-parters. So, yeah, hang on. Yeah, I think there's only going to be like 9 videos left. I think from this point, we're like 9 videos away from being done with season 1 by my estimation, because like I said, it's 9 episodes, is 9 of my episodes rather, because I'm doing multi-parters in one. I've already decided that. So, we're committing now. Face Off set a trend. What an episode to start a trend on. I didn't even realize that until just now, but whatever. I'm rambling, and that's usually my cue to cut off, so. Alright, now we can actually get into some interesting stuff. Champion versus Creator next time. Oh, I am so looking forward to that. Till then, Blue Wolf Fox of the Lore Walkers saying out. Have a good one. Duel standby.